examining that right now.
I think it's, let me ask the doctor for a qualified opinion. I think it's fair to say the masks couldn't hurt unless they gave you a false sense of security. You know, when a doctor talks about a mask, they're talking about a form-fitting mask that goes around your nose that doesn't allow any other air to come in. That's really what a mask is. So to ask a doctor, does a bandana help? I said to the doctor inside, I said, you know, I'll just get the bandanas that I wear when I ride my motorcycle. And he was like, yeah, that's not going to help. This is what the doctor thinks of as a mask, right? But could it hurt? Might it help? I think it's fair to say yes, but don't get a false sense of security that now you don't have to social distance and you don't have to take the normal precautions because you're wearing a bandana. Is that fair to say?
That's absolutely fair to say.
How many ventilators do you expect to seize from upstate hospitals, and how are you going to decide, you know, if the curve hits in upstate at the same time that New York City still needs those ventilators? How do you decide to get
First of all, don't use the word seize. I didn't use that word. That's a harsh kind of word. It's sharing of resources. We're going to share resources. We're not going to have any part of the state that doesn't have the resources they need because we didn't share resources. We are tracking every night, every hospital, who comes in, what they have, what they need. And we're just sharing and shifting resources, which is the only intelligent thing to do among one group of people. Right now, the numbers in upstate New York are lighter than the numbers in downstate New York. But that is going to change. It is in New York City. Now you're seeing Long Island start to light up. We had Westchester light up. Numbers are growing in Erie. You're going to see that wave move through the state. You've been watching it every day on that map as every state, every county is now colored in. We're going to shift resources all across the state to whatever place has that need at that time. And we're going to make sure every hospital has the resources they need to do the normal business. What is fascinating is the normal business has dropped off dramatically for a hospital. Why? We canceled all elective surgery. So elective non-critical surgery is not happening. And when we close down most of society and people are staying home, less people are getting hurt. Less bicycle accidents, less crime. So hospitals who are not dealing with COVID are seeing very low activity. And it's not that we're going to leave any healthcare facility without adequate equipment, but they don't need excess equipment now, right? Most of these hospitals put together stockpile, you know. You'll have 50,000 masks. Well, 50,000 masks, how long does that last you? 5 months it lasts me. Okay, you don't really need a 5-month supply right now. Keep a 1-month supply, give me 4 months, and God forbid you need it because there's a problem, I'll redeploy it the other way. Otherwise, I owe you 4 months worth of masks and I will pay you for it.
Well, so following Marie's question, how many ventilators are we talking about going from upstate to downstate?
We have to see how many. We haven't done that calculation, Jesse. So if a hospital has, you have to go hospital by hospital. How many do you have? How many do you need for the immediate future?
But ideally, how many would you draw down?
There could be several hundred excess ventilators in hospitals that don't have a COVID response right now.
And are you still anticipating or projecting that you've basically got 6 days worth of supply in New York City, or would this fiddle with that number a little bit? This is a number, several hundred could represent several hundred lives.
So am I willing to deploy the National Guard and inconvenience people for several hundred lives? You're damn right I am. Several hundred ventilators doesn't fix the problem, obviously, but it's a significant number of ventilators when you can't find ventilators anywhere else and you've done everything else that you can do.
But we're still at 6 days.
Yes, yes.
Are you refusing to?
Well, let's do it this way. Let's do it this way. You're burning the burn rate is about 300 ventilators per day. If you find 300 excess ventilators, you found another day.
Are you refusing to release the ventilators if the states ask for them?
Well, look, it's human nature, right? Let me borrow your equipment. No. I'd rather keep my equipment here. Government is going to take it. How do I know I get it back? How do I track it? It's an expensive piece of equipment, by the way. Ventilators now it's like $50,000. When we started, it was about $20,000. So it's not like asking to borrow a cup of sugar, you know.
Are you confident that this order would stand up in court? I mean, certainly these private hospitals could make a Fourth Amendment argument,
Yes.
unreasonable seizure.
You think they might sue me?
Possibly.
It would be a slow day if I didn't get sued 5 times, John. But if they want to sue me for borrowing their excess ventilators to save lives, let them sue me.
But do you think it would stand up, or are you
Yes,
basically dead?
yes, it'll stand up. It will stand up.
Javits Center is now becoming a COVID unit. Is that?
Excuse me 1 second. I'll borrow them, I will return them, or I will pay you for a new one. You want to hope I don't return it, so I pay you for a new one. Lend me your drill. I will bring it back to you, or I will buy you a new drill. How do you lose? I'm not taking your last drill. You have 5 other drills in your toolbox. You're not going to use 5 drills between now and then. And if something happens where you go in a drilling frenzy, call me and I will bring you more drills. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
The Javits Center now being converted to a COVID unit, is that going to house people who need less intensive care, or will that also have ICU beds?
It will have ICU beds. I don't know the mix between ICU bed. For all intents and purposes in this conversation, it's a ventilated bed, right? So how many ventilators will be in Javits? It's federally staffed. They're going to have to find the ventilators for it, so it's going to be up to them.
Are you find the ventilators in the stockpile? How does that work?
That would be from their stockpile, yes.
As the number of sick cops in the NYPD continues to rise, is there going to be a percentage of how many cops that would make you potentially, I don't know, take over the NYPD with either the state police, or is there something that you're considering there?
Look, we have this situation all across the board. We have TWU workers, transit workers, who have a very high rate of illness and who, by the way, are doing heroic work. And I want to thank them very much, John Samuelson, the Transit Workers Union. To run those trains, run those buses every day, talk about social distancing. You're a bus driver, right? It's hard to social distance. You're a train conductor pulling into stations all across the city. So they're doing heroic work. Very high rate of illness. That's a problem. It's a problem in the NYPD. It's a problem in the FDNY. It's a problem all across the board. It's a serious problem with healthcare workers, nurses, and hospital staff. So it'll be on a case-by-case basis, Bernadette. We'll look to the localities. We have the same situation in Nassau and Suffolk, by the way. We'll look to the locality. What do they think is a level where they need backup? And then we'll do everything we can to provide backup.
But is there a point that you would require a state takeover of the NYPD?
No, you couldn't do a state takeover of the NYPD. I would be of assistance to helping the NYPD. We have to perform a policing function, right? That's state constitution. Provide public safety. The NYPD, if they have a serious staff shortage, then I would work with them to figure out how we remedy that. But the NYPD is something like 30,000 employees. There is no replacing 30,000 employees.
Is there an update on the number of COVID patients from the New York City area who have been transferred to upstate hospitals, especially in the capital region?
Does anybody know that?
We have transferred over the course of the last 2 days several dozen patients back up to this area, and we're working closely with the hospitals down there.
Governor, have you spoken to federal authorities about the situation on the Comfort? We reported last night that there were only 20 patients there. That seems to be a vast underutilization of that.
Yeah, I did not speak to the president about the Comfort in any depth. The Comfort, the original agreement on the Comfort, the ship, was for non-COVID people. I think the Navy, I'm going to speak to the Secretary of Defense. The Navy's position is they don't want to put COVID people on the ship because it would be too hard to disinfect the ship afterwards. That's my rough interpretation of what they're saying.
But it also sees the other types of patients that they're rejecting as well, right?
I've not heard that. Well, we only have COVID and non-COVID patients, right? And the need is really for the COVID patients. I know they're not taking COVID-positive patients, but they said that from day one, in fairness. Now, I don't know the science of ship disinfecting to know whether or not they're being overly dramatic, but so I'll take their word for it.
Governor, could we return to the slide with the total confirmed cases of coronavirus?
Yeah, but that tests my technological ability, Zach, which you know is a little, which one did you want?
The one with the total, the county breakdown of the confirmed cases.
The county,
Breakdown.
can one of you, can you do that? There must be some better way of doing this.
And
There's got to be a better way.
do you have any update on any measures taken by the administration to lessen crowding in state prisons where cases continue to grow?
We have no measures to lessen crowding in state prison. We have put in a number of regulations and rules to reduce the risk, but reducing the prison population, we don't have any way to do that right now. Is this the slide you were talking about? Positive cases?
Have any of those measures in state prisons been any different than those at nursing homes or other facilities?
Yeah, I can get you a full list of both.
There's been an uptick of domestic violence cases from people having to co-shelter together. Is there any way or any assistance the administration can provide for people?
So, the state has a 1-800 number. It's 1-800-942-6906. That's our domestic violence hotline. Women should know that they don't have to stay in those situations. We will help them relocate. We will help them find safe shelter. And if there is an issue where you're in immediate harm, call 911 immediately. I spoke to the state police this morning. There is a reported uptick, as you said, some reports as high as 15 to 20%. It's unacceptable on any day. And I wanted people to know that if every case that's reported, the state police is going to investigate fully and bring the full bear of the law behind.
over anger and hate and selfishness. And we need love now. We need love as a people. Am I seizing ventilators? No, I'm taking excess equipment to save lives, you know? It's about doing the right thing. It's about love, and people will respond to that in this state and in this country. And I think those are the two greatest things.